Bob Wagner. The recipe for the month of December, the only thing I could think of was to put together a little salad, something fun, and a package, almost like a little Christmas present for you. Parma Prosciutto, goat cheese, pecan, little vinaigrette on top. Easy enough. Everyone can do this. Everyone can find it. And I'm going to pair it up with an amazing reserve wine. And so let's get started. We've got Parma Prosciutto. You can find this anywhere. You want to get it sliced as thin as you can. One of those things, I like to have them slice it for me. You can get the little packages, don't get me wrong. But man, when you slice that off a nice, beautiful Parma ham, really, really big difference. We've got some pecans here that I've actually roasted in the oven at 300 degrees just for about 10 minutes, just to really get some of those wonderful flavors and the oils coming out of those, heat them up and really get some wonderful flavor, excuse me. Some fresh goat cheese. There's no pepper, there's no herbs or anything going on, just a clean, fresh goat cheese at room temperature also. And then all these beautiful little salads, whatever you can find nearby. If you've got frisee or red oak or anything, doesn't really matter. It's all just for a little crunch, a little bit of texture in there, and also some fun flavor and a little bitterness too sometimes on these, some of these fresh greens like that. Some sherry vinegar. Definitely use sherry vinegar on this. I love the bite, love that tartness of the sherry vinegar. If you can't find that, you can use red wine vinegar. A lot of these recipes, if you can't find it, you don't not do it because you can't find sherry vinegar. You need to use red wine vinegar. We've got some chives, salt, fresh ground white pepper, and I'm gonna start off here with just a little bit of oil. We're gonna make some pecan oil because we couldn't find any pecan oil, so I'm just using regular vegetable oil. A lot of times I'll use grapeseed oil, but you're probably thinking I can't find that either in the supermarket. So you know what? Just use your regular vegetable oil. And this is one of my favorite sounds in the world. Listen to that. So we're going to get that going. We're going to bring this up to temperature. We're going to get that oil pretty hot. And do not use olive oil for this. You want to use just a basic oil because what we want to do is have as much pecan flavor as we can. So we're going to bring that up. These just came out of the oven, so they're nice. They're nice and hot. Just a little bit toasted, but you really want to keep an eye on these guys while they're in the oven, because just literally 10-15 seconds later, you get a little tiny brown mark around the outside, and it's bitter, and you will taste that for 3 days, guarantee it. You can see the oil starting to break down just to heat up a tiny bit. We're going to get these guys in here. You can go out and spend a lot of money on little rings, or you can actually use PVC pipe, but it just takes too much time. So I've got one of these. Actually, you buy these when you get olives at the supermarket. Bring that home. A knife across through the center, and look at that. There's your perfect ring mold for your prosciutto salad. So we're going to put that guy down like that. We're going to get started with our Parma. And usually I like to use, depending on how many courses you're doing, but we're going to lay one down like this. I like to use at least 3 or 4 nice pieces of Parma. Overlap them and let them kind of hang down like that. Yeah, let's use 4. We got enough for 4. Can you ever have enough Parma? I don't think so. Up. That down through the center like that. Now we're going to turn this guy off and just let him sit there for a while. We don't want to put hot oil on top of the salad or in the vinaigrette, but that's going to steep and do that. It's going to get all those wonderful pecan flavors from that roasting especially, and then just infused into that oil. That's all we really need. All right. Next up, we're going to put our goat cheese in here. And this, sometimes goat cheese will almost always will have a little bit of salt. They always do, just so they have good flavor. So you want to be careful. We're going to be careful with the salt on the inside here. We're just going to put some on the, outside. Then we're going to put some of the nuts on the inside. Put a little bit of greens just for the fun of it. Then we're going to do a little bit of cracked pepper, because there's no seasoning on that at all yet, and we're not going to be able to season the inside with the vinaigrette, so just cracked pepper is good for that. Then what we're going to do is just wrap up our little package. This guy goes around there. This one goes around there. Fold him up on top. The last one across here. Then what you want to do is kind of press down all the sides. Up, up, up. Press down as you're pulling up on the little ring mold. Look at that. There's our little Christmas package. All right, now what we're going to do is our simple little vinaigrette, sherry vinegar. Usually it's 1 part vinegar, 3 parts oil. Up, do a little bit. And then you want to get your salt in there right away. You want it to break down in the vinegar. A lot of times people will add their oil in there, and then you'll have a bunch of salt sitting at the bottom, and you wonder why, because you didn't get it in there. It needs an acid to start breaking down. If it's just in oil, it won't have time to break down, so we're just going to add that real quick. A little bit of fresh ground pepper too. Up. Now we're going to take some. This has been sitting for about 15 minutes, so it's that time to really take on all that wonderful flavor from the pecans. And now we're going to go only 4, just a little bit different like that. Oh man, does that smell good. And you know what? The nuts are going in too. So we're going to add these guys. And then we're going to add a little bit of chopped chives. All right, so I'm just going to run this across real quick. If you don't have chives, don't worry about it. If you wanted to use thyme or rosemary, it'd be good in here also. Just a tiny bit of one little green and almost a nice little raw onion touch flavor to it. Gives a little bit of a fun kick to it. That's going in. Then we decorate. This can sit for just a minute. We don't want to let those nuts sit in there too long in the vinegar. So now, there's the fun part. Now you can get creative. You can play with this however you want. You can add all these crazy little greens, add them however you like. I like frisee for this because you get all these pretty little frilly leaves and fun stuff. And you don't need a lot. It's just a fun little salad. Get some different colors, pull off some leaves. What's fun about this salad is it can sit like this for about 10-15 minutes. At room temperature, it's okay. It's ham, it's still the salad and things. Keep it in a nice, cool room. But at least you can set this up, have it as a nice, almost a first course as people are showing up. And then boom, you bring it out, you've got everything ready, and then you pass around the vinaigrette. People can put on their own, and you've got your little package ready to go. We're gonna get down underneath here, because the vinegar is always underneath that oil. It's not an emulsified, it's a broken salad dressing, if you will. So we're going to get underneath there. I'm just going to get the nuts out first and have those guys. We're going to wander them around. Put a little bit around the top, a little around the outside. Then we're going to get underneath there, get that vinegar, put a little bit on top. Doesn't need a lot. And a little bit around the outside. You can see how pretty that looks with a broken vinaigrette and the little chives wandering around. And finishing off with a little chive sprigs on top, making it kind of fun. And if that doesn't have Christmas present written all over it, I don't know what does. There's your Parma Prosciutto salad, easy enough. There's our December dish, and I've got something really fun to pair up with that. We've got the Reserve Yellowtail Merlot, which would make any amazing dinner. Another one of my favorite sounds. The one thing I really like about this is just hearty, rustic, and big fruit forward, which is I really, really like about it, without the crazy tannins, none of those wild tannins that just beat your mouth up. And just fun and rustic. Hints of, light hints of oak and almost a chocolate. But should go really well. Any Christmas dinner, any holiday dinner, any dinner in general. Love this. This is honestly a crowd pleaser, Reserve Merlot, and just if I can say one thing about it is value, value, value. Crazy deal for an incredible wine. Man, is that good. That's the wine. That's our dish. Fun stuff. What a combo. Let's see how we did. All right. Man, is that good. If that's not my favorite combo so far, I'm not sure what is. Happy holidays. Bon appetit.